Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining the webinar today. Great to have so many people with us. And also, it's great to have Katie Fitch with us here, who's the Senior Educational Consultant at Crick Software. Now, Crick Software has been, if you haven't heard of them before, they're one of these companies who have been around for forever, and they produce some fantastic software. And Clicker Writer is just one of the most recent apps that they've been developing, which I believe is an amalgamation of some of the earlier apps that they've put together into one. So, Katie, I'll hand over to you, okay? And we'll, if you can maybe just talk about the software for about 20 minutes, and thereafter we'll take some questions, okay?
Sounds perfect. Thanks for that, Craig.
Thanks.
I'm Katie. I'm one of the Senior Education Consultants here at Crick Software. If you haven't used Clicker Writer before, or you've got some familiarity with Clicker, the idea of the next 20 minutes really is to guide you through the app. If any of you have used Clicker before, you probably know that at the moment we have Clicker 8, which works on laptops and PCs, and we have Clicker Writer, the app, which takes key features of Clicker and puts them into an app that can work on the iPad or the Chromebook. Some of you may have used the previous individual Clicker apps. We had Clicker Sentences, Clicker Connect and Clicker Docs, and what you'll see with Clicker Writer is we've amalgamated all of those into one app, which now has lots of additional features in it. So Clicker Writer is what we're focusing on this afternoon. And before we get started, I'm just going to explain some of the support tools that you'll see in Clicker Writer as you open it. So on the blue ribbon along the top where you can see it says Document, there's a number of icons, and just to give you a quick insight into some of these, just over on the left hand side where you can see the folder, that takes us straight through to some of our ready-made learning grids. I'm going to go into those in just a few minutes. The next button along will be to produce a new document, and I'm actually going to do that just now because I'm going to get rid of the text that's on my screen so we can start. Following on there, we have our new Clicker Set Creator. So if we want to make any of our own resources, we can do that. And just over on the right-hand side, in my question mark, takes me directly to some tutorials. So if you want to learn more about Clicker Writer after our session, because this is a whistle-stop tour, please go in and watch those tutorials for some more detail. The settings cog will allow us to personalize lots of the features within Clicker Writer. So the font that our children use, the voice that they listen back to, the color of their writing document, all personalized there within the settings icon. And finally, the last one that you can see on the right hand side is where we can edit our Clicker sets. So they're the key tools along that top blue ribbon. What we're going to do to begin with is we're going to look at some of the fantastic ready-made writing resources that you can find within Clicker to support your primary aged pupils. And I'm just going to go back into that folder icon where we first started, and I'm going to go into the section that's called Learning Grids. And what this area provides is more than 1,000 ready-made topic resources. And you can see on the green bar there that what's fantastic about Clicker is it's not just providing writing support within our English or literacy lessons. It might be that today we're writing in geography and we've got all of our geography topics and themes. We might be having a history focus in the classroom this morning, and I've got all my history topics there with these ready-made differentiated writing supports that I can use to support all of the different stages of learning and writing development within my classroom. So all of our different curriculum areas on the green bar. Of course, you can also see the search box at the top. So if you wanted to do a topic specific search, let's imagine for us it's going to be weather, I can always type my topic in and Clicker will immediately filter down all of those weather resources that I might want to be using. So for today, I'm just going to clear my weather search, and I'm going to take a science topic this afternoon and start to think about, as a teacher, providing that ready-made differentiated support. So my science topic, as I just pop into my science tab, is going to be keeping healthy. And I can see in my list of topics and themes that I've got that ready there for me. So here we are. As a teacher, as my starting point, I've got 18 ready-made resources. So what's great about this, as you can imagine, is it saves lots of planning and resource creation time for us as teachers. It also means that taking a classroom topic, I've got lots of ready-made differentiated support. So over on the right-hand side, you can see we've got 3 different types of Clicker Writer resources. And these are the ones that you might previously have found in the 3 Clicker Writer apps. But now, for progression, added into one app together. So we've got sentence sets, connect sets, and word banks. And what I'm going to do for the next few minutes is talk you through each of those resources so you understand. And over on the right hand side, you can see what type of resource this is, whether it's a connect set, a word bank, or a sentence set. I'm going to start with the sentence set that says keeping healthy, because this is what gives the maximum level of writing support. So opening at the bottom of the screen now, you can see my ready-made sentence set. So a sentence set takes a sentence around a topic, for us, keeping healthy, and it puts all of the individual words from my sentence into a cell. It gives me a word with a capital letter, so it gives me a cue of how to start my writing. It gives me a full stop as well to remember my punctuation. So it's giving me everything that I need to make my sentence. Now, some children will be able to read through these words and construct the sentence independently. But of course, Clicker also offers them help beyond that. So if they wanted to read any of the words in the bottom and actually listen to them, because maybe they struggle to read some of those words, I've got a small blue sound shift button that's just popped up. And when I tap my word,
healthy,
Clicker will then read that word for me. And I can listen to as many of those words as I want to. Now I'm ready to start creating my sentence, and when I want to do that, I can simply tap on the cell and it will appear in the writing page at the top. Now some children will no doubt be able to work through this independently, building up an accurate sentence. But let's imagine there's some children that need a little bit more of additional support. Actually, I'm quite stuck on this sentence. I don't know what comes next. Above my picture, we have a small green eye that allows me to see the sentence that I'm trying to create. And also, of course, if I tap on it,
being healthy helps us to grow and stay well.
Listen to it as well. So I can hide my model now. Look at it again if I want to check back, and I can continue making my sentence, adding in my words, and I put my full stop in to finish my sentence off.
Being healthy helps us to grow and stay well.
Clicker reads the entire sentence back to me so I can check for accuracy and edit any errors I may have made. So I've successfully worked through my first sentence. When I'm ready to move on to my next grid, I just swipe to move through. And now I've got a whole series of sentences I'd like children to build up around their topic. So sentence sets are perfect for supporting children who perhaps struggle with independent writing tasks, may struggle with spelling challenges, vocabulary selection, perhaps focus and distraction with a longer piece of writing, because sentence by sentence allows them to build up their writing. Now I'm going to go back to learning grids and show you the next stage on in my keeping healthy topic, which is going to be a connect set. So again, scrolling through, I'm just going to find my keeping healthy connect set in my list, and let's have a look. What have we got here? Here's one that we can use. So opening on your screen now, a connect set. Now a slight difference to a sentence set because I'm increasing the level of challenge. Still got some pictures to illustrate if we want to have the visual support, I've also got a number of grids along the bottom now, which as a learner is giving me sentence starts and ends and middles that I need to manipulate. So the idea of a connect set is very much now allowing me to independently select what my sentences are going to look like, what combination of words I'm going to put together. So rather than the fixed outcome of a sentence set, where I've got one sentence to create, with a connect set, I can potentially produce a more extended piece of writing. Still, of course, with all of the vocabulary that I need, still with all of the punctuation that I need, still with the full speech support. And again, grids that I can move through either with a swipe or by selecting them at the bottom to move through them. Now, any of these ready-made grids, you can also edit. So I can edit the vocabulary, or perhaps I might want to put some pictures in as well. To make any changes to the ready-made clicker grids, up on the blue ribbon along the top, we have our edit clicker icon. And what this allows me to do is to make any changes. So I'm just going to click where I want to change. So you can see now that with a red outline around it is that cluster of cells. So let's imagine, for example, that I'm going to change the word humans just by deleting it. And for us, I'm going to put in the word people. I'm just going to type that in, and you'll see that Clicker's now updated that at the bottom. I might also want to put in a picture, and I'm going to put in a picture with the cell that says brushing. So I'm going to click onto that cell, and you can see now that a picture box has appeared. The top icon will allow me to choose where I want to take pictures from. Crick picks 2, bank of more than 4,000 ready-made picture images, or I can use my camera roll and my pictures. Let's start by using Crick Picks. And the great thing about this is Crick Picks will take that word brushing and automatically find any pictures that matches that word. So let's choose the brush my teeth. There it goes into my cell. I've made my changes. I've edited the pieces that I want to. Up in the right-hand corner now, I've got my Go button that's going to go from edit mode now to user mode, and I can see those changes that I've made. So sentence sets, connect sets, great for providing scaffolded writing support. Now, just going back into learning grids, the final level of support would be what we call a word bank. And word banks offer different levels of support. So I could give you a word bank that provides a full vocabulary, and I'm going to do an even tighter search this time because on the left-hand side, I'm going to select my word banks, and Clicker's going to do a filter by resource type as well now. So here we are. I can see my keeping healthy A to Z. So what we've got now is a word bank. So I've taken out your high frequency words, I've taken out your punctuation, and what I've left you with is the essence of your topic on keeping healthy, and I've put it into alphabetical order for you. So great for providing learners with topic-specific vocabulary support. If that one perhaps provides a little bit too much in terms of vocabulary, I can tighten that support a little bit by giving you a more filtered selection of words, and that would be what we call a topic word bank. So here we are. This would be our keeping healthy with our different topic tabs along the bottom. And just like we did with our connect set or sentence set, we could edit those if we wanted to. Now I'm going to use this one at the bottom to create a piece of writing to show you Clicker's writing support features. Let's just start a new document again, so we've got a blank page. So now as a writer, I've got my topic support along the bottom with my key vocabulary, and what I'm going to do is use Clicker's other writing features to enhance my ability to produce a piece of writing. So I could start by switching to my keyboard, because obviously I haven't taken out the high frequency words. I need to do some word selection of my own. And I can do that by pressing the green button, and up pops my keyboard. So I'm going to write to keep, and I might go back to my word bar now, and I might find a word. Let's go back and let's put a space in. I might say to keep active, I like, and let's find another word from here. I like walking. So a combination of me using my keyboard to type my high frequency words and the vocabulary support at the bottom has allowed me to construct that sentence. You know now that when I add in my full stop,
To keep active, I like walking.
Clicker's going to highlight that text as it reads it back to me. So great reader feedback there from the speech feedback facility. Okay, let's keep on with our piece of writing, but what we're going to do in our next sentence is we're going to use our voice note recorder, a new feature that we've just added into the Clicker Writer app. It shows us the small microphone on the left-hand side, and it opens a recording box. I'm going to press the red button. Yesterday it was cold, so I played inside. I'm going to press stop and done, and that voice note will appear in my page. For some reason it's not going to. Let's try that again. Yesterday it was cold, so I played outside. My voice note doesn't appear to be working at the moment. Apologies for that. It will appear as a little red envelope in the left-hand side of the page. And what that allows learners to do is practice their sentences and listen back to them. Okay, another writing feature within Clicker, of course, is a spell checker. We know that children often make spelling mistakes as they write, and what we want them to be able to do is to independently spell check. So let's write our sentence and let's make a spelling error. I'm going to say yesterday it was cold. So here we are. I can think that I might have a spelling error. Of course, Clicker offers me the support
Yesterday it was cold.
of listening back to it. So now I can hear the spelling error and I can see it because it's underlined in red. And I want to be able to spell check that, and I can do that by clicking on my word, and above my keyboard now in red are my spell check suggestions. And again, if I want to listen to those, I can listen with the sound shift button.
Cold.
When I'm ready to choose my word, I click on the word and it goes into the page. The other really useful support that we have for writing is our predictor. And what this does is it allows children to predict what words they might be trying to write. This is fantastic for children who struggle with spelling, perhaps write quite slowly, because what you can see sitting above my keyboard now is my word suggestions. So I'm going to write I like. And as you can see, as I start writing, along the top of my keyboard are my word suggestions. Again, I can listen.
Playing.
I can choose. I can start to build up my words. I'm trying to spell cricket here, and you can see that I'm trying to spell it quite phonetically. But the great thing about this is Clicker's still taking those phonetic attempts and putting them into the predictor. So lots of key writing supports there within Clicker, from the spell checker to the predictor to the speech feedback to the voice notes. And all of those ready-made learning grids are designed to support learners at different levels. Now I'm conscious of the time and I'm going to take 2 more minutes just to show you how you can create your own Clicker resource. So what I'm going to do this time, using the icons along the top, is to go into the new Clicker set option, which will show me my 3 options. We've just looked at all of these: the sentence set, the connect set and the word bank. But the guide gives me an idea of how my clicker writing grid would be able to look. I'm going to make a sentence set, and I'm just going to go create, and I'm going to add in my grids. Let's just create a new clicker set just here. I can add in my grids, and when I'm ready to do that, here we go. Let's pop in some words. Simply type in whatever it is that you want to add in. I'm going to put some fruit and vegetables in here because these are very healthy. I'm going to put some peas and some sweet corn and some squash and some grapes. I can put those words in, I can create my grid, and of course then when I press go, I'm going to have those popped into my grid. So the idea of the new clicker set is you can create any of these from a blank template quite simply by pressing the add button, adding in your grids, typing in your different text and words. If you then want to add a picture, let me just put some words in here and just quickly show you how you can do this. Let's put some tomatoes in there. I'm just going to create that grid. There they are at the bottom, my 2 words. If you wanted to then add a picture, you can just go back to our picture icon. I can go into either my Crick Pics, or if I've got some photographs that I've taken, perhaps from a cookery lesson, I can go into my pictures and it will take me directly to my camera roll. So you have the option of the images that you add in to your clicker grids. Final thing that I'm going to talk about is the settings button to personalize. I did mention this at the start. If you want to change the speech, so the voice or the speed, you have the option to do that within the settings tab. If you want to change any of the colors or fonts that you work with, that's obviously on the documents tab. And there's also an option in here in terms of working with pictures. So if you want to deselect sending pictures with text, what that will do, if I just quickly edit this one, I can show you this. Let's put my picture in here. So at the moment, I've got pictures selected. So when I send my cell to the word processor, it will add the picture image in as well. If I just want to have the picture support in the grids, I would go to my settings and I would deselect send picture with text. Okay, final thing I'm going to mention is saving resources so that you can access them at a later time. So imagining that we want to come back to this clicker grid or to our piece of writing, how do we do that? So we can go into our clicker set icon along the top, and we simply select the option that says send a copy, and then you can send it to any sharing platform. You can see that mine is connected to Dropbox. Yours might be Google Drive, Google Classroom, OneDrive. It really doesn't matter. You select whichever one of those you want to save to. You find your folder location, you add in your clicker resource, and you go into that folder. That resource will then be there for you to open. So if you're working between different devices in school, or if you're sending resources for children to access at home, potentially to support remote learning, that shared platform will be the way to save and share those clicker resources. Okay, very conscious of the time, so I am going to stop right there, and I'm going to see if you have any questions, or if we've got any questions in the Q&A or chat box, Craig.
That was great, Katie. Thank you. That was excellent. I think it's probably a bit unfair asking you to squeeze all that in 20 minutes. You did a fantastic job. That was great.
The whistle stop.
There's no questions just yet, but please, if you do have any questions, please pop them in. I was just going to, I'm not quite sure, do you need to be, when you're using the voice notes, do you need to be on a new line to add a voice note every time?
You don't need to, no, you don't need to. It will automatically go into your document. For some reason, mine seems to be trying to record, and then even though I press stop and done, it doesn't seem to be active. It might potentially be because I'm speaking through an external microphone here.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's trying to pick it up internally on my iPad. So it might be that I haven't got my iPad microphone active because I didn't want to get any feedback.
Okay. Gemma's asking, can you edit the colour boxes to suit individuals using colour semantics to support their language learning?
Yeah, that's a great question, and you absolutely can. So let's take the example of my word bank at the bottom. Any clicker grid that's got those cells, all I would need to do is go into my edit option. Above my grid now, you can see all of those different colour options. I would tap my cell and I would tap the colour that I want it to be, and I could make my changes simply like that. And when I press go, Gemma, you will have all of those different coloured boxes to match your colourful semantics.
Great, thank you. Shirley's asking, can you create a word bank on the iPad and send it to a learner using Clicker 8?
You can do that, and you could do it the other way round as well. So if you've got laptops and iPads being used in classrooms and at home, you can share between devices. And again, that would just be the case of if you're using Clicker 8 in a laptop version, it would just be saving that resource into your Dropbox folder, and then you would open it on your iPad. So as long as you've got that shared platform that your laptops and your iPads can connect to, absolutely the files and the resources are compatible.
Okay, thank you. Jackie's asking, can you print out work? I think you can.
That's a very good question. You can, because if I wanted to, I've got the option just here that says print, and if you're connected to a Wi-Fi printer, should print out that way. Again, if you wanted to send it to a laptop because your laptop is printer enabled, you could send it, open it on your laptop and then print it. So yes, you can print, and it's whichever is the easiest option for you.
Okay, thank you. Gemma's asking, what voices are available for the app? Are there different dialect options?
Yeah, there's a couple of voices. So we've just added in 2 new voices that are Alfie and Amy. You've been listening to Amy. There is also some of the previous voices. If you've used any of the apps or Clicker before, you might be familiar with Harry and Rosie. I've got a whole selection on here from Australia and America, but actually what you'll have showing within Clicker is Alfie and Amy, Harry and Rosie.
Okay, great. I see that Liz has her hand up, but I don't have an option to turn her microphone on. So I don't know, Liz, if you want to pop a question into the chat box, please do so. Just before, Liz has asked this question, but just before that, Ailsa's asking, is there a speech-to-text facility, or does the voice recorder simply record for the pupil to play back the support for writing?
Yeah, you've got it exactly right in the latter part of that question. So what a voice note does, it stores that voice message a bit like you do on your phone when you listen to your voicemail. So it really is practice of verbal ideas that children can listen back to. What Clicker doesn't do is then transcribe it onto the screen. So it is a way of practicing and listening, so then I can write.
Okay, thank you. Liz is asking, can you change the contrast on screen? So I presume she means like the colour backgrounds, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Just above where it says document 2, I've got a capital A and a small a, and if I go in there, I've got my document background, so I can change that for you just there. And in much the same way, if I want to change the font colour, let's just put that onto grey, or else it might not look too nice for you. There you go. So yes, options to change colour of font, colour of background.
Okay, thanks. Right, so I'm going to ask a question that no one else has asked yet. How much?
Oh, okay. I should have mentioned that, shouldn't I? Okay, so I'm just going to close Clicker down, and let's just go on to our website, which hopefully is loading for you now, and I will show you the pricing for Clicker. So the great news is that Clicker licenses now last for 3 years. And Clicker licenses also are now universal. And what this means is licenses that you buy can be used on either laptops, PCs, iPads or Chromebooks. So if you're a school that's working with mixed devices, you no longer have to buy Clicker licenses for each of those devices. So you can see on the screen that we have a Clicker 1+1 license, which is £350. That gives you 2 licenses that last for 3 years. We've got 5 licenses that cost £600. We've got 10 licenses that are £900, and we have the One School site license, which gives you access on unlimited devices in school and also gives all of your teachers and students access at home, which is £2,700. So all of those licenses, 3 years, use them on a range of devices, laptop, PC, iPad or Chromebook within your school. If you're a current Clicker customer, in that you have a Clicker 7 license, we have an upgrade offer that ends at the end of this calendar year, which provides a 40% discount for you to move to the new Clicker 8 Clicker Writer Universal license. And you can see those there on the red panel on the right hand side, what your upgrade price will be.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for that. One last question, and I think it's quite pertinent actually to the sort of times we've got just now. And Gemma's asking, is there a way to remotely set up new sets for individuals so that you don't need direct contact with the iPad? And I guess maybe Gemma's maybe something like, you know, Office 365, where you can have you know, synchronized Word documents, that type of thing.
Yeah,
is there a way to do that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. As long as we always say that Clicker will work like any other tool that you're currently working with in school. So if you're sending Word documents, if you're sending activities to students via a platform or via a syncing device, there's no reason that Clicker won't follow that same pattern and do exactly the same.
So presumably from a teacher, and I'm creating a script for some pupils, I can maybe say do that on my desktop on Clicker 8, and then email it to my pupils, and then they'll be able to open that on their iPads.
You could. What we've also got is, I'm just going to quickly show you actually, because we do have our own website that's called Learning Grids, and I'm just going to open this for you because this is also a really useful way of sharing some resources. What this does is it takes the Clicker resources. So for example, all of those resources that I've just looked at on keeping healthy are going to be here. The difference with the Learning Grids website is that over on the right hand side you can see the little black icon with the arrow, and what this actually allows you to do is directly share that resource. So you can share it by email, you can share it with Facebook, Twitter, so directly attach it to your email, send it out to your learners if that's the way that you're working. So options as well through the Learning Grids website.
Well, I never did. Thank you. That's really good to know. Okay, so one more from Gemma. This is your last one, Gemma.
And Gemma.
What technical support do you offer teachers' assistants if they are not 100% confident with this technology? And I know there's some really great short 90-second tutorials that you have there are available.
Yeah, so what I would suggest is, again, you can either go to this via our website, www.cricksoft.com, or if you've got Clicker working in your school on your iPad, go into that question mark and go to watch tutorials. This takes you directly back to the website, and there's a fantastic selection of short tutorials here. And what these do is they take a section of Clicker that we've looked at this afternoon, how to create and edit a sentence set, for example, and they give you a 3-minute video and talk you around all of that different topics. So they're a fantastic way of familiarising yourself with Clicker. We do also have a technical support team. So if you buy Clicker and you have any questions about installation or sharing via different platforms, then that's also included in the support that we provide to you.
That's great, thank you. So just to say thank you to everyone for attending today and for asking questions, really interesting and great questions. And thank you to Nikki, who I think you've earned your crust. We've really sort of made you work hard today with all these questions, so thank you for that.
Craig, I'm just going to write my direct email on the screen for you.
Okay.
If anybody's got any questions or if they
Crick
want to talk to me about licenses or any general support that I can provide, I'm just going to type this up here so you've got access to that as well.
Brilliant, thank you.
katie.fitch@cricksoft.com. Sorry, I'm
Right.
a bit
That's
slow.
okay.
Just here,
katie.fitch@cricksoft.com.
there we
Wonderful.
go.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Katie.
Very welcome.
Bye.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.